Alright. Hey there, YouTube. Back one more time. Figured I'm going to do a little something on my SENA 10C. I just picked it up. Got it for Christmas. It was a nice gift. I figured I'd shoot a little video of it. See what I think and how it works. Nope. Hey, you too, and I'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
You be safe out there. And, just see what I think. I'm actually going to go around them. Alright, well, that was fucking odd. I think I've seen her once. The power of a bike, right? What do you do? So, alright, back to the SENA. It was a gift for Christmas. Actually, the wife got it for me. I like it. I've been eyeballing it for a long time. I liked it because it was one unit versus two, versus getting a GoPro and then trying to figure out an intercom system, sync them all together. It seemed more like what I wanted. I've seen the GoPros, and they just sit on top of your head. I mean, they're this gigantic square thing, and then you got the intercom, and I'm computer stupid, so trying to sync everything up was not something I wanted to do. I mean, it took me a second just to figure out how to be able to view the video from this on my laptop. A couple tricks. No, I'll run through that, the farther I get. Once I get this figured out, I'll actually put up a video of, you got to download the app onto your phone, onto your laptop and all that. And I have a Windows 10 laptop, so everything's kind of like an app format where you can literally go to the store, go to the app store, whatever they want to call it, drag it over, home screen, all that shit, which I liked because I liked the format of a cell phone versus the traditional laptop, because I can use my cell phone, like there's no tomorrow. Laptop, though, on the other hand, like I say, I'm an idiot. So, once I get everything figured out and learn how to edit and all that, I'll make a video on how to get this thing synced up, where to find your videos, how to put them in it, because I don't think videos go on like a thumbnail list like your phone does for your gallery. The SENA 10C. I like the camera resolution. I think it's nice. I have it set on 720. It also has 1080. I think 1080 is limited to... Actually, I think 1080 might be 60 frames. It might be 30. I'm not sure. But I know I'm on 720 at 60 frames. So, watching a couple of videos, they recommend that you go into your settings on your phone, because you got to download the app for your phone as well. Well, if you want to Bluetooth it. Go into your settings and turn your gain down to low. So I set my gain to low. I'm sitting at 720, 60, which should be a good quality. I took a video this morning. It was probably 6:30, so it was still dark, and you could barely see anything. I mean, it looked like I didn't even have my headlight on. So I wasn't gonna put that video up. A couple of things I did like with this is, like I said, the sleek. Just one unit does it all. It was kind of a trick to hook up on my helmet. I have the Pro Mod. I have a modular helmet. It's made by Built. And it has the drop-down visor, a little lever on the left side that controls the drop-down lens. Now that, it interferes with where you want to mount the SENA mount to your helmet, because it wants to put it right where your drop-down visor control is. Well, I noticed I wanted to slide mine back because it literally wants to sit right over top of the slide mechanism itself. Well, I can't slide it back because the styrofoam shell inside the helmet, I can't slide the mount back far enough to not touch the styrofoam. I don't want to cut it, so I had to slide the mount for the SENA forward. But where the chin piece and all that mounts to different plastics, and I could, I could explain it and show it to you, and I think I showed it, I think I put it up in a different video on the issue. Well, what it's doing now is, because I'm such at the point where my slide is all the way forward, which lifts my drop-down lens up, it's so close to the up position that my lens, it doesn't hold it all the way up. The lens drops down a little bit, and I can see it in my vision. It's probably maybe a 1/4 of an inch drop down. So it's not bad, but it does kind of bother me, just for the simple fact that I've got something in my line of sight. Like I say, it's only a 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if I want to just, disable the drop-down lens, because there is a wire. When you move that little switch, there's a wire that hooks to the lens, and that's what drops it down and lifts it up. Now, if I disable that switch, I got to cut the cable. Well, if I cut that cable, is my drop-down lens now just going to drop? Now I'm stuck trying to figure out how to get rid of my drop-down lens. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to tear apart a perfectly good helmet for a 1/4 of an inch of drop-down lens getting in my way. But I don't like the fact that the lens shows. It hooked up pretty easy. My helmet actually had little pockets inside right above your ears where the speakers would go. Now, I had talked to somebody and they'd said you really don't want to put the speakers directly near your ears, because that could interfere with background noise. Now, on bikes, you guys ride enough, you know it. You want background noise. You want to hear that sheriff coming up behind you. It's the ambulance or something coming up. You want to be able to hear it. So they said move your speakers kind of above your ears, not on top of your head, but, above your ears, a little bit behind them. Well, mine had the little pockets already carved into the helmet and the styrofoam to just fit the speakers in there. So I set them in there. They work great. I haven't tried to record audio while listening to music, so I'm not sure how that works. If it's going to hear it or not. The microphone's nice. When you shut your drop-down lens, you got to reach up underneath your chin and move it out of the way. But that's easy enough. I haven't tried intercom. I'm going to buy another one for the wife. I'm going to put it in her helmet so we can at least communicate back and forth. I have heard some people say, however, that when you try and communicate with someone that you're paired to, I've heard a couple different things, and I'm not sure where to go with this. It's just trial by fire, I guess. That if you put your music on and they're connected, they're stuck listening to your music, which is fine because we like the same music, so that's no big deal. But I'd also heard that in certain situations, I'm not sure where the guy said it happens, but I'd be able to talk to my passenger, but they wouldn't be able to talk back. I wouldn't hear it because the music's playing. So that, I guess I understand how that works. If my speakers already have something coming through them, for it to be able to just know when someone's talking and shut them off and go straight to intercom, I guess I can see how that works. But, yeah, it's just trial. You know, you just play around with these things and you figure them out. But overall, I like it. I mean, like I said, I've been eyeballing this thing for a little over a year now. And I gotta say, I like it. I'm happy I have it. You know, it would have been great to have during my motorcycle wreck. It was about a year ago. There's a video up of it. You can dig around. If you've followed me at all, you've probably seen the video. It's not of the wreck itself, but it was there shortly after. Well, the guy that pulled out in front of me, you know, he told me he pulled out in front of me, and he hung out in the middle of the street and waited. And when it came time to talk to the cops, he said he never pulled out. Well, I didn't have proof. So, I mean, I had a witness behind me that said, yeah, he jumped out in front of me. That's what made me, you know, go into evasive action, trying to miss this clown. And that brings up another topic, too, with it. When I was going through the insurance of it, and I have full coverage. On the bike, I keep 100% full coverage. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I want full coverage. I don't care if I get hit by a shopping cart. I want coverage. I go ahead and I go through the insurance company, and come to find out we had the same insurance company, so that made it real interesting. The insurance company, yeah, they totaled out the bike, so they paid it off. They gave me, you know, $1,000 for all my gear, which is fine. But then they basically just told me this is about as far as we can go. You know, my arm hurt a little bit. My left arm would go numb from time to time. Actually, I could just move it wrong and it would go numb. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do anything with that. I figured if I just babied it for a minute, it'd go away. And I was right, it did. But still, my insurance guy basically told me, well, yeah, I'll back it up a bit. He said he needed, before they could do anything, he needed a police report. He said it usually takes a minute to go through. So I just sat on my hands for a minute and, you know, waited. I was getting paid vacation. You know, not paid vacation, but I was getting paid. Work was okay with me being off because of the accident, and my insurance was paying me. So it was great. I was getting paid to sit home, heal up. I couldn't walk. You know, my ankle was fucked. I started chit-chatting with the insurance guy, and he had told me, you know, he goes, this is about as much as we can do is pay the bike off and give you, you know, replace your gear. He goes, now just go, you know, my suggestion, just go buy another bike. I said, well, I don't want another bike. I like mine, you know. And he told me, he goes, well, this is about as far as we can go because, you know, you didn't, it's fucked up to say, and it still blows me away. I tell people, and they're like, what? I was basically told by the insurance company that it would have been in my best interest if I would have just hit the car. Just hit him. Instead of trying to avoid him, you know, to just slam into him. And I mean, I kind of get it. But, I mean, that goes against everything, you know, everything natural, everything inside. I mean, self-preservation, you know, a car pulls out in front of you, you do everything you can to avoid the car. But that would have made it to where there would have been a police report. The insurance company could have gone for as much as they wanted to, needed to, had to, you know what I mean, however that works. But I was like, what, so you're telling me I should have just hit him? He's like, oh yeah. He goes, you should have just slammed right into him. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm not going to go, you know, bad enough I got thrown clear across the street, you know, slid down the street. The last thing I want to do is bounce off, you know, get thrown over the roof of this guy's car, you know. But that was the interesting thing with what I was told by the cops. And knew the cop, basically, when I asked the cop, I'm like, so where's my, I gave it a month. The insurance company told me it could take about a month to get a police report pulled up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, a month? So I go ahead and I give it the time. I'm getting paid, so fuck it, you know. I go ahead and I give it the time. And I'm still trying to heal up. Ankle's fucked. My arm's going numb. Hand hurts. I'm a mess. So I go ahead and I call, I call the police station. It was State Patrol, actually. So I call them and I'm like, hey, I got in a wreck over here. Here's the date. Here's time. They're like, yeah, we never filled out a police report. I said, fill out a police report. And the cop at the scene told me this as well, that it was, to him, since I didn't touch the guy's car, it appeared that I was going too fast and just lost control. I said, are you out of your mind? Lost control. This road is straight as piss. It's 45 miles an hour. And I even told the cop, I said, yeah, it's probably doing about 50, Average flow of traffic is, 10 over. So to be doing 50, there's nothing wrong with that, But no, he said they didn't file a police report. So right then, right there, the insurance company is like, oh, there's not much more we can do, so good luck on picking a new bike. So that was a gigantic mess. But, back to the point of the SENA, it would have been so nice to have this camera then. Because I could have. I literally could have just, gone into my insurance agent's office, sat down with my SENA and my little cord and plugged it into their little laptop, and they could have seen the entire thing. So that was one of the reasons I knew I wanted a camera. And the other one is for some of the people out there that follow me. I got a handful. There's one guy, Christian. I guess he's out of Salt Lake or in that area. And that's hilarious because I used to live there. I have a bunch of people in that area that I still know. Got the same bike. It's hilarious. We're 1,000 miles difference or whatever it is. It's kind of interesting to have someone hit me up on YouTube. Come to find out, he's right down the street from pretty much where I spent a good part of my my late teens, early 20s. So, but yeah, that was one of the things that really pushed me to getting this SENA, was just the camera, the protection, the insurance. Shit, I drive a big truck, and I'm pushing my bosses to get us dash cams, because the amount of idiots you see, they're staring at their phone, they're putting on their makeup, they're fucking eating, they're playing with the dog. Those are the ones that kill me the most, the people you see with the dog on their fucking lap, hanging out the window. They don't want to turn too sharp, they hate to knock over Muffy. But they don't have a problem flipping you off because you didn't get out of their way. Idiots. But that's a whole different video. So, yeah, the camera so far is working great. I'm going to have to figure out how to, like I say, edit. It's going to take some playing. I'm going to try and see if I can, obviously, if you're watching this one, I figured out how to at least send one. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it right now. Just a real quick one. I just was heading home. I figured I'd stop for a second and just shoot a little video on the way home. I shot a couple, but it just, they weren't working out for me. You get into a topic and you give your 30 seconds on what you think about driving in the cold or the wet, and then you spend the next 4 minutes dead air, So, but yeah, I think it's going to do it for now. I'm going to come up with a couple different topics I can put up there. How to ride in the rain. I'm no pro, so don't get it twisted. I'm not the motor man. I'm not the guy that can do all the tricks, and I haven't been riding for 50 years, so, there's probably someone out there better to give you advice or tips. But, for my riding experience, I think I've got a handful of tips I could throw your way. Being a commercial driver, it's a lot right there. I'm in large trucks. Trucks that take a country mile to stop. what to look out for. I think that transfers well to motorcycles. You got to watch not the car in front of you, but the 4 cars in front of him. Little shit, how to use your mirrors, little stuff. So, but hey, want you guys to hopefully enjoy the video. You guys can like it, whatever. If you want to leave a comment or something, that's great. If not, no biggie. I'm not getting paid for any of this, so it's maybe one day, but I'm not worried about it. I kind of find it more interesting. I actually had my roommate, sidetrack here, I renting the basement out to a friend of mine. He's like, I said, I got the camera, He's like, yay, whatever, okay. So what are you going to do, start making vlogs? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, fuck no. I'm like, he's like, oh, fuck that. You don't start making vlogs, fuck that. I said, you know what? You don't have to fucking watch them, okay? You don't have to. And I'd shut him up quick. He's an old boy, so he's, opinionated, and, it was just interesting how he reacted to that one, But, hey, if I can throw out some info or a little tip or just something interesting to take a gander at and watch, what's the harm? So, I enjoy it, and I hope you guys do as well. Like I said, have fun. Have yourself a good New Year's. It's January 2nd right now, so we got a whole new year in front of us. Make the best of it. You guys be safe. Have fun, and just enjoy it, man. Later.